Every day he woke up with a strange fear, so he always sleeps with a gun in his hand. After I wake up, I work out like crazy. But he still felt very anxious when he did all this.
Good morning, sir.
This is what scares him, artificial intelligence. This is 2035. Artificial intelligence has covered every aspect of human society. Cheap and easy to use noodles greatly liberates productive forces. It's like a smartphone. Robots have become something human beings cannot quit. He's the only one who's been around for years. He always had a sense of foreboding. He thinks there's something wrong with artificial intelligence. But since the robot interview, none of the iron cases had a criminal record. Because in this world, before all robots were born, it's all in the original program. The 3 fundamental laws are strictly set. 1. Robots must not hurt human beings, or let human beings come to harm. 2. Robots must obey human commands, unless the order conflicts with Article 1. 3. The robot must protect itself, unless the situation conflicts with the 1st and 2nd laws. And, under these laws, that robots can commit crimes. It's like saying cell phones bite. He got worse and worse in the police department. Everyone around him thinks he has a problem. His colleagues mocked his superiors for suspending him. Even his wife left him. He always believed that the world was out of whack. Not him. It's just what's wrong with it. The day before the 5th generation robot went live, a strange thing happened. There was a murder at the head office that manufactures robots. The victim was an old acquaintance of the detective, and the father of robotics scientist Dr. Lanning. He created robots that changed the world. Success is world famous. At the peak of life, he fell to his death from a lab a dozen stories high, because it was suitable for the time the laboratory door was locked from the inside. Ruling out homicide could make it a suicide. For the body of the scientist, there's a holographic projector that falls to the ground. Inside are conversations specially recorded by scientists, as if to tell the detective some last words. But no matter how many questions he asked, the projection just answered.
I'm sorry, my responses are limited. You must ask the right questions.
Unable to think of the right question, the detective had to investigate the case first. He just went upstairs, and the downstairs was already cleaned up. Employees come and go on duty. You don't even see the blood that just spilled out. Just like no matter who dies, can't hold back the capital machine. Accompanied by a female scientist, detectives went inside big companies looking for evidence. The first thing he looked into was surveillance. All the walls of the company are equipped with a 24/7 monitoring system for the status quo. All image data, it gets pooled in the super brains of the company. Vicky, super artificial intelligence. Vicky is the old scientist's pet project. The algorithm is omniscient. Only if you ask the old man about the video before the accident. Vicky says the data is corrupted. Listen to the female scientist. The old man had been living in the R&D room for several months. He didn't go out or talk to anyone. The interior was littered with debris. Deactivated robots still hang on the walls. Spooky. Look at the window from which he fell. It went through a huge hole. The detective swung his chair against the glass. The wall glass cannot be broken. Even he can't break it. An old man with gray hair. And how did you get out? Rule out homicide, just because the killer couldn't have gotten in from the outside. But there is another possibility.
The killer's still in here.
There are multiple robots in the room that are not turned on. They are the 5th generation of robots that will soon be put into society because it has a model that looks like a human face. The uncanny valley effect is very strong. It's called the uncanny valley, refers to when a man sees something that looks like himself. If only a little bit like, people like him, but if he becomes more and more like himself, people will be more and more afraid of him, till he became almost indistinguishable from a human being. People will start liking him again. These are 5th generation robots. Ben was born at the bottom of the uncanny valley, and when you need to find out, the murderer who sleeps among them. That sounds creepy. This guy shows up for the first time. It seems to have a human tension. In the last 4 generations of robots, I've never felt that emotion before. Then he picked up the gun and confronted the detective. No matter how much the female scientist ordered the shutdown, he did not comply. Better than a cold killing machine. He was more like a scared child. He didn't shoot the detective. I took a detective's bullet, jumped through a hole in the window. From a height of 10 meters, he fell directly to the ground. The powerful bindings broke through the floor, but he didn't fall apart. By the time the detective got down, the robot was gone. A line of mechanical fluid is left on the ground. Looks like the only good news is he's injured. The female scientist knows where he'll go next. If you need to repair yourself, he's bound to go to the robot factory. The 2 men quickly chased to the factory. The detective knew he couldn't stand this place the minute he came, because this is a fully automated industry, not a single living employee. Machines produce themselves day and night. No wonder their numbers are approaching the human population. The female doctor consulted the factory data. There are currently 1,001 5th generation robots in the library, yet the factory produces 1,000 a day. That means there's one too many. He's going to go through them one by one, but the detective just walked right down. Tell all robots to stand still. Then he pulled out his gun.